Saskatchewan is a big province. You can really see the sky above the wind-swept prairie. The rivers and lakes of the north are vast. The rolling grasslands of the southern hills stretch to a far horizon. This was the end of the westward trail for homesteaders who looked for a new and better way of life. The land was rich and big. The better way of life was theirs to build. Soon the plains were dotted with towns like Prince Albert, Battleford, Samin, Capel, Regina, Moose Jaw, Saskatoon, Swift Current, Yorkton. In 1905, the province of Saskatchewan came into being. 2 years later, the university charter was granted, and in September 1909, the University of Saskatchewan enrolled its first students in temporary quarters in Saskatoon. The first president, Dr. Walter Murray, understood the essential greatness of the fact that this province, these people, some with proud degrees, some with little or no English, so keenly desired a university. Expressing a dream that has become a reality, he said, "We should have a university that will leave no calling, no sphere of life untouched. A university that is as broad in sympathy as these wide plains, as deep in richness as this marvelous soil, and as stimulating in spirit as the breezes which sweep over the fields." Built out of the resources of Saskatchewan and fulfilling her special needs, the university has for half a century been a part of the growth of the province. Construction began on the administration building in 1910. The cornerstone was laid by Sir Wilfrid Laurier, Prime Minister of Canada. At the time, the Premier of the province, the Honorable Walter Scott, said, "Next to the legislature itself, this seat of higher learning is the most important institution that Saskatchewan will ever possess." The green and white crest, bearing the sheaf of wheat, the provincial emblem, and the open book with its motto, "For God and Country," stands as a shining symbol of the common strength of the province and the university. As enrollment increased, new buildings were added to the campus. Their Gothic facades reflected the influence of centuries of learning from the old world, but they were solidly built on the prairie soil of glacial boulders dug up only a few miles away. The future was bright in the 20s. The curriculum expanded. Then came the dark years of the 30s. Students lived on next to nothing. Professors' salaries were drastically cut. And yet, the flame of knowledge was maintained, perhaps burned even brighter, while the spirit of those who tended it was put to the hard test of economic chaos. In 1934, Regina College, an independent United Church college, faced financial disaster. It was incorporated into the university to become a junior college and school of music and fine art. But the main campus remained in Saskatoon, and the university came through the difficult years of depression and war with a few buildings filled to capacity. Dr. J.S. Thompson, second president, met the challenge of those years with a spirit of determination and enterprise. After the war, registration zoomed. Enrollment reached a bursting 4,500, and in 1948, a $20 million building program was begun for engineering, the School of Vocational Agriculture, the John Mitchell Building for Soils and Dairy Science, and a virus laboratory for the study of animal diseases. For the School of Medicine, a new medical college, a nurse's residence, a university hospital, and a medical research laboratory. An agricultural research laboratory was built on the campus by the federal government. An aeroplane hangar was converted to classrooms. A gymnasium was built, and a students' union building was erected as a memorial to those who fell in World War II. Laboratories were established by both the National Research Council and the Saskatchewan Research Council. A university library and a maintenance building were built to serve all the schools. And many independent schools and colleges have enriched the campus at Saskatoon. The first university of the Northwest Territories, Emmanuel College, an Anglican theological college, had early moved down from Prince Albert. Then there is St. Andrew's, a United Church theological college, and the buildings of the Lutheran Seminary. St. Thomas More, a Federated Arts College for Roman Catholic students. Thus, the university is the treasury of tradition and wisdom. It is a treasury that not only accumulates learning, but pays back with interest all these riches of the mind. Through its extension department, the university is a source of useful information and stimulating educational experience to thousands of individuals and organized groups throughout the province, in towns and tiny communities, and on isolated farms. In agriculture alone, the contribution of the university has been remarkable. Standing on 2,700 acres of land, Saskatchewan was the first in Canada to have a College of Agriculture as an integral part of the institution. The college grain elevator, only one on university land anywhere, is a symbol of the link between the university and the economy of the province. Behind the knowledge that these students will gain lies more than 50 years of agricultural research. University farms provide opportunities to study land management and the handling of various types of crops. Research on such varieties as royal flax or antelope rye will mean better land use, higher yields, more prosperous farming in the years to come. In the agricultural engineering department, the most modern developments in farm machinery are constantly tested and improved. Members of the department have worked so tirelessly throughout the province on machines such as this that some manufacturers now come to the university for a final check before going into full-scale production. Perhaps the magnum opus of the university's agricultural research has been the Saskatchewan Soil Survey. Many and varied are the soils of the province, and more than 68 million acres of farmland were surveyed, an exhaustive work which took over 20 years. Degree of erosion, stoniness, salinity, drainage conditions, and topography were recorded on huge maps. Information shown on the maps can prevent the kind of heartbreak of the 30s when land turned to uses for which it was unfitted was abandoned by desolate families. Copies of the map are widespread throughout the province so that all may find out the facts in advance about the land with which they are concerned. At the College of Agriculture, there is no quiet season. Current livestock studies may bring about a revolution in winter shelter. If these experiments are successful, the results will mean a great economy in beef production. The School of Vocational Agriculture enrolls farm boys of 17 or older who come for 2 consecutive winters for courses lasting from the end of harvest until the beginning of seeding time. With classes in English, speech, and history are combined practical studies such as construction of farm buildings. For the Extension Department, the high point in the year comes in January. More than 1,000 men and women from all over Saskatchewan come to the campus for Farm and Home Week. Some of them come over the wide plains in their own aircraft. You may see 20 or 30 of their airplanes lined up on the Saskatoon airport during Farm and Home Week. Usually more than 100 of these flying farmers of Saskatchewan arrive for the week at the university. But airborne or earthbound, all have an opportunity to share experiences. Once every 3 years, the Extension Department publishes a new edition of the Guide to Farm Practice in Saskatchewan, pooling information from the university and the provincial and federal departments of agriculture. The climax is the Livestock Parade. Animals and grain for show are going out of fashion. With more and more farms raising top-grade produce, the emphasis is more on clinics, where practical men can get solid scientific information. In midsummer, the Extension Department is still in high gear. In July comes 4-H Achievement Day. Here are the pick of Saskatchewan youth, representing the 12,000 4-H club members. At summer school, teachers may study to raise their academic qualifications. Under the trees on the green campus, they work on notes taken in regular credit courses. Thus, through teacher training, the whole standard of education is improved throughout the province. The university is still growing. By 1962, there will be 6,000 students on the campus. Now under construction are a new arts building, a new animal husbandry building, and a new biology building. The Murray Memorial Library, opened in 1956, holds 170,000 books covering the liberal arts and the sciences. But while books may be the tools of learning, the success of the university depends upon the students who use these tools. The future leaders of the communities find within the walls of this building the wisdom of the ages. Books that serve the basic faculty of the university, the faculty of arts. Here are the fruits of creative scholarship to stimulate the students of the humanities. With growing mental discipline, art students study history, political science, economics. They learn English and modern languages. With this core of studies, they will be prepared to take their places as citizens in the full sense of the word. Some of the books carry the names of the university's own professors, names well known in the academic world. This girl will be Bachelor of Education in a few years. The techniques of teaching are part of her learning, but the basis of her studies will be the humanities. Through her teaching, a knowledge of the liberal arts will spread out through the smallest communities. The College of Commerce at Saskatchewan is the largest on the prairies. With the growing trend toward urbanization, the dean expects registration to triple in 10 years. Students studying law learn the rules of logic and the ideals of justice while inquiring into the precedents of the past. When these girls and dozens of others graduate in home economics, they will move out to staff hospitals, schools, and government departments. Eventually, because of their training, they will be wiser mothers and community workers. In the field of medical science, the new hospital and medical building have opened new opportunities. Nurses can take a hospital diploma course, a university degree, or a graduate diploma in public health nursing. Here, too, pharmacy students associate closely with practicing members of their own profession during their years of study. At the new hospital, outstanding medical scientists find a stimulating place to work. Each year, more and more Saskatchewan medical graduates with a first-rate training acquired within their own province will go out to practice in the rural areas and the growing towns. Here, where the world's first cobalt therapy unit was developed, is also the first Betatron specifically designed for the relief of deep-seated cancer. The work has attracted top physicists from Germany, Scotland, Austria, and the U.S. The Betatron is a powerful tool to further knowledge of the nature of the nucleus. And men are on the verge of new understanding of life and the universe. Because of its location, nearer to the North Auroral Zone than any other university in North America, Saskatchewan is an international center for the study of the aurora. The all-sky camera designed here photographs the sky every minute throughout the night. This study of the mysterious aurora and its effects on man's communications is a project of the Defense Research Board. To most of us, the aurora is an awesome phenomenon of color and light. To the physicist, it is an electronic storm, gases carrying electric charges, radiant because they are bombarded by atomic particles from the sun. The film record of a whole night's play of northern lights can be viewed in a few moments. A recent survey shows that Saskatchewan stands 8th among the universities on this continent in its production of distinguished scientists. The Faculty of Engineering benefits from the pure research done here. In the materials testing lab, students study a cement resistant to deterioration caused by sulfates, which in the past caused serious crumbling of concrete structures. Developed at the university, this cement is now a standard product all over the world. The engineering faculty grows with the development of the province. New mines and oil wells, land rehabilitation projects, telephones, highways, power lines, the network of communications and utilities that keep the people alive, all depend on the engineers of the future. And 1/3 of the engineers trained in the school will stay in Saskatchewan. But the economy of Saskatchewan was built on wheat. And so biology and chemistry can add much to the solution of the practical problems of living in the province. Pure research done in the labs often produces better crops on the farms. Just as the proof of the pudding is in the eating, so the proof of the flour is in the baking. And so the work in the labs goes on, developing better flour from better wheat, for better bread all over the world. Research and its discoveries exert a great stimulus on teachers, but teaching is the central activity in the graduate and undergraduate schools. At Regina College, there are regular academic classes for first-year students in the arts and sciences and most of the professional schools. These students are studying to become hospital laboratory technicians. At Regina, too, fine arts courses are given as part of the university degree work. The string orchestra provides experience for music students as well as forming a basis for opera and ballet productions. The art classes give an opportunity to talented students not only to study techniques, but to draw stimulation from working together under the guidance of well-known artists. Traveling exhibitions of graphic art in the various media are hung in the Mackenzie Gallery so that students may be aware of the main currents in the international stream of art. From a study of art treasures of the past, they may gain deeper insight into the meaning of beauty. Dance classes and productions at the college provide for both the students and the people of Saskatchewan an opportunity to enjoy the plastic rhythmic art form of the ballet. On the Saskatoon campus, under the guidance of a well-known Canadian composer, students with musical talent who may never before have had an opportunity for serious study are taught instrumental technique as well as composition. It is a stimulating and yet a sobering experience to hear one's own composition played publicly for the first time. In drama, too, Saskatchewan brings its own special zest to the classical theater of past centuries.
And in particular, the children. My sons, our sons. You might have been decent enough to have considered our sons.
Did you? Gene, I think we should bring up Jason's entrance.
All right, well, Prop, I'll bring up Variac 4, and Mike, you take down 1 and 2.
Something might happen to the bride and the marriage.
I'll guard against it. But evidently, Creon was right to be rid of you.
Thank you, all right. Keep your eye on the action.
The university is proud of the 1,000 students trained here who have gone out to pass on some of the excitement of theater.
Remember now, focus on the action all the time. Carry on.
Wisdom of another sort is gained from the activities of the College Weekly and Student Council.
First of all, as I have always considered myself a financier, I wish to have the opportunity of seeing how the Student Council spends my money. We are here at university for only a very short time.
Well, if that's the case, why have you been here so long?
Ladies and gentlemen, you've just had the opportunity of hearing from Saskatchewan's oldest living student. As I was saying before I was interrupted.
Understanding grows, too, in the International Students Club.
Sing up the chorus. Matilda, 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 take me money and run Venezuela. $500, friends, I lost. The woman even take me Captain Holt. Matilda, she take me money and run Venezuela. Everybody! Matilda, 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 take me money and run Venezuela. Sing a little louder. Matilda, 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 take me money and run Venezuela. Sing a little softer.
The rich racial heritage of the prairie people gives vitality to campus life. There are memories that will never be recorded in notebooks. The curling match of staff against students is a classic. The enthusiasm and team spirit that are generated in the gym and in the stadium induce a zest for living and an ability to pull together that will carry over into later life. Group known as the intensely vigorous College Nine always seems to have more or less than 9 members. This university is more than walls of prairie stone and mortar, more than friendship and widened intellectual horizons. It is a growth and a flowering of real understanding. From research, from lectures, from campus life, and from study, each member of the university acquires his own accumulated wisdom and a philosophy which becomes his way of life as he looks forward with the poet to the years of the unperformed. And so the dream of the founders has become a reality, a university that leaves no sphere of life untouched, as broad as the wide plains, as stimulating in spirit as the breezes which sweep over the fields of Saskatchewan. The graduates of this university, which grew out of the inspiration and determination of the prairie pioneers, go forth to build the better way of life and to serve science, industry, medicine, agriculture, and the broad purposes of the liberal arts throughout the world.
Alexander Campbell Aitken.
I admit you.
Carl Ivor Listow.
You graduating students may feel that my generation is handing over to you a world of great dangers, fears, insecurity, distorted and unworthy values, and the feeling would be justified. But at least your predecessors have improved that world for you in one respect. It really needs and wants you badly, and is prepared to reward you handsomely for your services and for the advanced education which you have received here. This university enjoys to a remarkable degree the esteem and goodwill of the people of the province. That esteem is due in part to our constant and deliberate efforts to serve in every possible way not only the students within our walls, but all the people of Saskatchewan. I urge you to conduct yourselves so as to increase that esteem and to reflect credit on your university.